In my new book, Healthy Boards, Successful Schools, I address a whole range of issues and challenges that the head of school and the board chair and the board of trustees face on a day-to-day basis. And one of the aspects of the book that I thought would be particularly meaningful for heads and boards to take a look at is this whole idea of creating and sustaining an advisory board. Now, I certainly realize an advisory board is not for every school, but there are a lot of pluses, there are a lot of positives for a school to form an advisory board. Too often I have seen where the head and the board have tried to create an advisory board or committee, and after a brief period of time it sort of fizzles out and it doesn't even come close to accomplishing what its original intention was. And so in one of the chapters in the new book, I address the whole issue of what do you do with advisory boards? How do you form them? How do you sustain them? And how do you make sure they are doing what the school needs for them to accomplish? And so the way that I've structured this chapter is that there are 12 steps. 12 steps for the head of the school and the board to contemplate and to try to figure out what's going to be best for our school. How are we going to be able to create an advisory board that's going to really be something meaningful and make a difference for what it is we're trying to accomplish. These 12 steps will help you do just that. So what are the 12 steps? Well, they're pretty simple and straightforward. Let me just give you a couple of examples, and the rest of them you can find when you buy the book. But think of it this way: when you're starting out, what do you want to do? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to define the purpose and the mission of the organization. So what do you want the advisory board to do? Do you want them to be more of a fundraising board? Do you want them to be more of a sounding board where you come in and you give them information and you share ideas and you're trying to get feedback? What is it that you really need them to do? Articulate that in the purpose and mission statement. Secondly, what about the roles and responsibilities? What roles and responsibilities do you want the advisory board to have? That makes a big difference in terms of who you want to try to attract to be on the advisory board. What about bylaws, guidelines? Maybe you don't want either one of those. You want it to be more informal. That's another important factor that you need to take to heart and understand. What is it going to take for this group to be successful? All of that is outlined in Healthy Boards, Healthy Schools, how to set up an advisory board for your school. If you want to learn more, I encourage you to buy the book, visit my website, williamrmottphd.com. Thank you.